Hey there, Wandering Watchers. Welcome to this pick a card reading that reveals exactly what you need to know about your soulmate. This reading uncovers information about your soulmate's personality and goals so that you'll know how to recognize this person as your soulmate. And it explores how you'll find each other and the relationship that you'll share together. Keep in mind that these cards provide perspective and that you have control over your life and you get to make decisions about how to live it. Your choices and your actions reflect your personal truth, and that includes deciding who is your soulmate. So there are 4 decks of cards in front of me. In pile number 1, we have the Pulp Tarot. In pile number 2, the Star Seeker Tarot. Pile number 3, the Light Seers Tarot. In pile number 4, Neo Tarot. You can choose any pile of cards that you feel drawn to in order to learn about your soulmate. Because different aspects about your soulmate or about your relationship may be in different piles, feel free to choose more than one pile. Also, I like to think that we have multiple soulmates, so go ahead and pick multiple piles to learn about more than one soulmate that you might have. Each of the readings will be time-stamped, and you can find the link in the description box below. Click on the link to jump to the reading that corresponds with the pile of your choice. So now it's time to tune into the cards, choose your soulmate tarot adventure, and let's make magic happen. Welcome back. This is reading for group number 1, those who pick the Pulp Tarot to learn about their soulmate. But first, we are going to pull some oracle cards to find out, group number 1, how will you recognize your soulmates? So your soulmate, you have the Swan, love, allure, purity. Your soulmate will kind of just have this air about them, this sense of grace, this sense of beauty, this intentionality about them where they are ensuring that they're paying attention to you, that there is that connection. And it might not necessarily just be with you, it would be with everyone. It's just they want to be in that present moment and give their attention to that person that they're with and make sure that they are seen as well. They are definitely someone who understands how connection with another person is important and matters. And to some degree, it might be that your soulmate, when they were younger, felt like the ugly duckling or had some insecurity about themselves that they have learned to embrace, accept, and overcome, and recognize that each person probably has their own insecurities, and so they've learned a way that they carry themselves and present themselves when they're with other people to really let those people feel seen. Okay. Group number 1, your soulmate has the Frog Voice Progress Cleansing. So your soulmate is someone who really is not afraid to say what's on their mind, to have difficult conversations, to really acknowledge what they feel uncomfortable with, to kind of move on from things that are weighing them down. So they really are someone who wants to embrace positivity in their life. someone who might, even though they are able to kind of speak their own mind, we'll see whether or not they're willing to kind of step into that role for other people, because they do want other people to be seen and be heard. So it may be that they're willing to do that for themselves, but don't want to necessarily speak on behalf of others. Okay. Group number 1, your soulmate will appear young to you, maybe youthful. Maybe they'll be younger than you. And you have dark eyes. So it'll appear that they have dark eyes, maybe when you are caught in that kind of discussion where they are seeing you and letting you know that you are being seen. This is definitely that eyeball is definitely a I see you kind of look there. So someone who looks young to you, appears young to you, and has these piercing dark eyes when they look at you. So group number 1, let's take a look at some of your soulmates' beliefs and goals. You have Mercury messages. So they're really focused on this concept of communicating clearly and really speaking their mind, making sure that again, that you are heard, that they are heard, but because they have really had to embrace certain aspects of themselves that they may not have at one point wanted to accept or had trouble accepting, it may be that they are not going to go out of their way to try to figure out what it is you want to say or what other people want to say. It's not like they're going to take things at face value, but they are focused on making sure what they are communicating and how they're communicating it is the right message, the right tone, and that you are receiving it in the way that it's intended. They might not have the it's not patience or focus. It's almost like they're allowing you to do the same for them. However tone you want to use with them, whatever words you want to use with them, whatever things you have trouble saying or don't have trouble saying, it's as if they would want you to be your authentic self. So they're not going to dig. So if you are wanting something to be clear, it would probably be in your best interest to ask for confirmation or say things, make sure that you actually say what you're feeling and not make them guess, because they're not going to do that, because it's almost imposing on you in a way of digging for aspects of you that you don't want to reveal. So you also have this Virgo card, Digest. So perhaps your soulmate is a Virgo, or they are someone that really is able to kind of to take from any situation what they are given and determine on their own what is worth saving or not worth saving. And what I mean by that is kind of like if there's a discussion that your soulmate is having with someone and they are, your soulmate can pick up that they're a little bit timid, They're not really confident, but they are saying, trying to make themselves sound bigger. Your soulmate would take that information and based on what they observe and different aspects about that person, they'll kind of take that information and like pull it apart. Like what they're able to see the core of what matters. But they might not let that other person know that they can see those things. And that's kind of like that concept of messages. They are, micromannerisms, facial expressions, all those things your soulmate is very aware of how they're putting off, and they're aware of how other people do that to them as well. So, like I said, they're not going to at least seem like they're digging, but in the background, they know what information is key. They know what information to just disregard. And they know when the whole truth hasn't been revealed. So, group number 1, let's take a look at what your soulmate needs to experience before you two actually connect. Well, I'm not taking all those. So let's bring this back again. Get my fingers to work here. You have benefactor, grace, and generosity. So, group number 1, I said that your soulmate has a certain, I think I said that there's a certain grace about them. So what they're experiencing is it's almost like they're perfecting it. They're perfecting this aspect of being a good companion. So I do see that they have pretty much mastered that aspect of grace. They might need to fully experience this aspect of generosity. And kind of, it's not like they're being selfish. They've had to embrace their own journey and accept things about themselves and carry themselves in a certain way that makes them feel confident about who they are and the direction they're going. But part of that is that they've pretty much focused on themselves and how they operate in an environment, using other people as a gauge of how much your soulmate has grown, or how much they're willing to show others about themselves. But now it's a shift into being more focused on being generous and not just allowing people to find themselves and be themselves, but actually acknowledging that, maybe even verbally to them, and encouraging whatever they feel needs to be encouraged, and recognize whatever they kind of sense a person is wanting to have recognized about themselves. So, group number 1, let's see what you need to experience before you two meet. You have Crown Games, right use of power. So, group number 1, considering that your soulmate has this kind of confidence, this ability to use words and not use words to convey that they have this confidence and this knowledge about themselves and knowledge about how people kind of present themselves. You are someone who is also very aware, whether that's intuitively aware or you are intellectually aware and like to analyze things. So it's as if you two are kind of matched in that way. And what you need to experience is how you use that knowledge, that intellect in a way that, I guess, be more aware that any which way that you go with your knowledge, with the power that you have, it puts someone at an advantage and someone at a disadvantage. You know, and having those experiences and knowing the nuances of the effect of how you use your intellect is something that you'll need to experience before you two actually meet, because like I said, it's like you will both be meeting your match, and they're learning how to be, more generous. So you will be needing to learn, the little minor aspects of using your intellect, using your knowledge, and how it affects people, how it impacts people, and kind of allotting, kind of using your intellect to shape how people feel about themselves, shape how people feel about other things, or acknowledging some aspect of a person might make them appear better to other people, and acknowledging something about them might make them feel insecure. And so that's almost a sense of what I'm feeling that you need to learn, because your soulmate is aware of those things. So group number 1, let's take a look at how you and your soulmate meet. You have 8 of Wands. So you might meet while traveling, some type of like air travel, or some mass communication, mass transportation type of situation. Maybe you carpool together. Maybe you take the train to work together, or you take a bus to go get guitar lessons, and they're on that route, something along those lines. So I would say kind of keep your eyes open, and if you see someone that's young with dark eyes, kind of confident and aware of themselves and aware of how they're carrying themselves as well, that might stand out. So let's see what your first impression is of your soulmate. You have 7 of Cups. So group number 1, your first impression is that you are kind of thinking that they have a lot of aspects about them. You're not sure what to put your finger on. You almost wonder if they are like a magician, like that they have the ability to like read minds even. So you're not sure if they are someone who is like tricking, or someone who is has the ability to really create any experience, or kind of manifest whatever they want. So you're trying to, you might even want to question them about it, like question, how is it that you know that? How is it that you were able to sense that was happening, or, one of those things. So let's see something significant that you come to appreciate about your soulmate. You have the Four of Swords. So group number one, I'm noticing that in this Four of Swords above the bed, there's, these lovers' embrace. So perhaps you spend some quality time in bed together. And for others of you, the soulmate is someone who knows when to step away from a problem, a disagreement, a discussion where it is becoming too intense. And maybe it's that aspect of grace and generosity that they are experiencing before you two meet. So let's take a look at your soulmate's initial impression of you. You have the Five of Swords. So, group number one, we were talking about how you also have that awareness about yourself, whether it's intuitive or it's your ability to analyze and needing to understand how, things that you acknowledge or say, the way that you use your intellect, your awareness can really kind of shift the power of things. Here, they're aware of you having that ability, that you have that ability to kind of say something that can cut someone down to size, and that you also have the ability to walk away from a situation if everyone comes out a loser. Whether you have mastered that, it's unclear, but they recognize that about you, at least initially. So let's see what your soulmate comes to appreciate about you. You have the Five of Wands. So group number one, your soulmate comes to appreciate your ability to acknowledge when there is conflict within yourself, among individuals, and to help kind of recognize where the conflict stems from, how the conflict can be addressed. To some degree, you're able to mediate certain situations. So either, if it's conflict within yourself, you're able to kind of recognize where there's where priorities or goals are kind of like where they're conflicting and how to address them. So again, that use of your awareness and your intellect. And when they're, again, other people, perhaps you oversee people at work, or you mentor people, and you're able to kind of help them recognize where there can be improvement and a sense of priority in like the goals that they're trying to accomplish, and kind of be able to kind of manage those types of things. So let's take a look at what significant experience you'll share with your soulmate. You have the Eight of Cups. So some type of needing to walk away from something. It may be that walking away from this relationship, at some point in time. It might be for a period of time. It might be for good. But that's a significant experience that both of you will experience for this or during this relationship. So let's see how your relationship looks overall. you have the Page of Wands. So overall, it's something that you will both be drawn to, be excited about, and speak of fondly, however that turns out for you. So we're going to close off here with a couple more oracle cards. Group number 1, let's see what lesson you will learn from your soulmate. Peace. So you will learn when to let certain things go, to let certain like wants that really don't advance you or other people's goals or align with your best and highest good. You'll learn to let those go, and to kind of like with this digest, to be able to discern what's important and what's not important, and how that impacts your ability to experience tranquility in your life. And so let's take a look at what lesson your soulmate will learn from you. You have well-being. So your soulmate is going to learn from you how to live a life that is fulfilling, that is for them, feeling good about their health, their mental health, their physical health, their emotional health, their spiritual health. In a sense, you will be both, learning from each other and kind of piggybacking off of what you are learning from each other to kind of embrace these lessons that you'll learn from each other. So, group number 1, I'm hoping this reading provides a helpful perspective about you and your soulmate, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is a reading for group number 2, those who pick the Star Seeker Tarot to learn about their soulmates. But before we get into the tarot cards, we're going to pull some oracle cards to see, group number 2, how would you recognize your soulmate in the first place? The Vulture cycles opportunity, distress. So group number 2, in terms of the qualities of your soulmate, you will recognize that they are someone who takes advantage of the opportunities that are given to them. You might see them coming around at certain times. If there's certain opportunities that seem to present themselves, like for example, let's say every night at 10 o'clock, a restaurant closes and gives away their bread that they didn't use for that night. Your soulmate would be going to this restaurant to pick up that bread in order to donate it to a shelter. So some type of situation where you see your soulmate or a person doing these types of things, taking opportunities. Maybe it's like recycling. You see them, going through someone's recycle bin before the dumpster truck comes to pick it up. Something along those lines. It may even be that they're someone who takes like other people's junk and then turns it into something, antiquing, or makes art out of it. Something along those lines where you notice that there's a pattern there, and they are taking the opportunity to take things that other people don't want and then to turn those things into opportunities for themselves or for other people. And also the swan, love, allure, purity. So group number 2, the quality that you will notice about your soulmate is that they are someone who is very much present when they interact with other people. They're, grateful. They are appreciative. They, recognize how important it is to interact with all people, that all people are deserving of love. They may be some type of person that focuses on communities, philanthropy, some humanitarian causes, something along those lines. So let's take a look at some characteristics of your soulmate. Group number 2, you might see that they are at times look preppy, perhaps while they're out there doing recycling or dumpsters diving. They are not preppy, but perhaps they transform from the ugly duckling into the swan, and they've got a preppy look about them. And then you got this card of sexy. So there is something about your soulmate that appeals to you, something about how they carry themselves, their physical features, that when you look at that person, you're like, that is a sexy beast over there. So let's take a look at some of your soulmate's beliefs and goals here, group number 2. Third house, communication. So group number 2, your soulmate really believes that connections between people, how they communicate with each other, how they use their voice or don't use their voice, how they use their time and energy, it says a lot about a person. They think that communication is key to a relationship. So be aware of that expectation, or I would say not expectation, that priority in their life. Also have conjunction alliance. So group number 2, your soulmate, again, that concept of perhaps like a humanitarian aspect to them. They are aware of how people can really excel and thrive when they have someone to support them, someone to be on their side, a partner, whether that's in business, whether that's in friendship and relationships, that really they're really there to help support society, the environment, and connections between individuals. So group number 2, let's see what your soulmate needs to understand and experience before you two meet. You have the crossing, initiation. So there's some type of change, some type of new horizon that your soulmate needs to experience before you two meet. Maybe it is a physical move to a new location. Maybe it's actually stepping up into a certain role that maybe they didn't want to kind of take that role, for whatever reason. And I'm kind of thinking of someone who is, if they're, someone who at work just excels and never wants to apply for a higher position, but really needs to recognize that they have outgrown whatever they are doing. They do it well, but it's almost like a sense of needing to challenge them a little bit more. So group number 2, let's see what you need to understand or experience before you meet your soulmate. You have Magician's Sword, confidence in your magic. So group number 2, you need to understand that kind of like that concept of mind over matter, really manifesting what you want, focusing on the positive if you want to experience the positive, embracing that aspect of, it's almost like whatever you imagine, whatever you're thinking about your world is what you create. It's like almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy to some degree, and that you have a lot of control over how you shape your experience. And so that confidence there, it might, that confidence in your magic, it might be important for your relationship here with your soulmate. So let's get into these tarot cards and see about your experience together. So we're going to start out by taking a look at how you and your soulmate meet. You have the Magician. So here you have the Magician's Sword. So perhaps this is like some type of situation where you both are stepping into your power. This could be like public speaking courses, or some type of event in your industry. If each of you are, let's just say, artists, then having like some type of art gallery opening where you meet each other. Some event where your ability, your skills, your talents, your ability to create, make things come to life, connect people together. Some place where that is recognized. So group number 2, let's see what your first impression is about your soulmate. You have 7 of Pentacles. So it may be that you recognize your soulmate as actually like physically digging into the dirt, perhaps setting up some type of irrigation system, or recycling, or somehow that concept of some kind of something that is cyclical in nature or appears cyclical to you, and probably not seeing them in their preppy, sexy aspect, but more of their connected to their work, or their efforts, humanitarian efforts, something along those lines. So let's see something significant that you come to appreciate about your soulmate. The Sun. So group number 2, you come to appreciate your soulmate's energy, their joy, their ability to really kind of put things into perspective when it comes to how they're living their life, where they fit into your life, how you fit into their life, and really a sense of them wanting to raise everyone up, like raise everyone's vibrations. So let's take a look at your soulmate's initial impression of you. Queen of Wands. So group number 2, maybe they think that you're sexy as well. Their first impression is that you are someone who is confident, intelligent, passionate, and unique. Willing to kind of go your own direction. Perhaps if you are an artist, like a very unique, non-conventional way of doing art, or if you are an actor, an actress, someone who really draws other people's attention. And yeah, like you draws people's attention to you, whether you want to or not. And so, yeah, this stepping into your confidence with your magic is definitely Queen of Wands vibes there. So let's see something significant that your soulmate comes to appreciate about you. You have the Two of Swords. So group number 2, your soulmate will appreciate that you take the time to figure out facts. Perhaps it doesn't change a situation, or doesn't necessarily change the direction that you might ultimately go, but you are someone that wants to investigate what there is, to investigate, at least on an objective level. You want to make decisions that are intentional and not just whimsical, and that you really care about the effect of the decisions and actions that you take. So again, if your soulmate is someone that cares about the earth, the environment, then perhaps you'll start being more wanting to learn about different products that you use, and how those affect the environment or not. So let's see what significant experience you and your soulmate will share together. Page of Cups. So group number 2, you and your soulmate will both really dive into this aspect of possibilities together, creativity, imagination, being dreamers together, living your dreams together, and really using this aspect of the magician's sword here, this confidence in your magic, really learning how you both, in conjunction, in alliance, as partners, can really manifest your dreams. If you two are like to travel, or like to be in nature, and like to go camping, then that's something that you'll experience together. And it's almost like a sense of your dreams coming true, seeing the world in a whole new way together. So let's take a look at how your relationship with your soulmate is overall. You have the Moon. So group number 2, your relationship with your soulmate, it takes you both to really intense emotions, really intense ability to tap into your intuition, to pursue things that you may have previously thought were outside your realm or your ability of experience. So this Page of Cups and this Moon is this ability to tap into the world around you, to tap into this nature that you're surrounded by, and really explore your feelings, explore the different aspects of yourselves, to be a little wild, to dive into that sexiness, to dive into the passion that you have, to explore, whatever fantasies that you have with each other. So, group number 2, let's see what lessons you'll learn from your soulmate. You have healing here. So, it's almost a sense of looking at how your soulmate takes things that may have been someone else's throwaways or disregards, and pays attention to them in a way where they transform into something that serves a purpose. That kind of teaches you about aspects of yourself, aspects of how you in the past may have disregarded aspects, or, disregarded or just displaced aspects or qualities about yourself, and kind of have you see them in a new way, embrace them in a new way, and it contributes to your sense of healing. So let's see what lesson your soulmate learns from you. Transformation. So it's almost like this will occur for both of you. This healing, this transformation, being able to explore your dreams, your fantasies, and push beyond what either of you thought was possible before you met, and recognizing that together that anything is possible, and kind of helping them to recognize that the efforts that they did over here, transforming something someone disregarded, or that someone no longer wanted, and transforming that into something useful, it matters. And it's not just useful, it's something that is in itself magic. And together, it's going to be interesting to see what more you two can explore together. So, group number 2, I hope this reading provides a helpful perspective about you and your soulmate. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is the reading for group number 3, those who pick the Light Seer's Tarot to learn about their soulmate. Before we get into the tarot cards, I'm going to pull some oracle cards to find out how you will recognize your soulmate when they cross your path. You have the Impala, intensity, vigilance, speed. So group number 3, you may recognize your soulmate by, their physical abilities. Perhaps they're someone who is very strong, very lean, into sports, athletic, very quick on their feet, and also someone who is up to facing a challenge. And the Bear, protection, courage, and rest. So group number 3, you may notice your soulmate, again, by their physical build. They may be muscular, physically big, someone who no one really wants to mess with, and really will stand up for what's right, stand up for other people, and make sure that people in their company feel relaxed and feel safe. So group number 3, let's get some more characteristics about your soulmate. They might have a big body, but a small nose and a long face. So something to keep in mind if you are someone that picks up on facial features. Because I mean, you already appear to be attracted to people who are muscular and lean. So let's take a look at some of their beliefs and goals. Mars motion. So they definitely have a lot of energy. They're definitely up for a challenge. And you can see in this card here, the muscles in their arms and their forearms and their bicep. So maybe there's someone who is a wrestler, someone who is into to health, or even a runner, someone who is speedy and in motion. So they might might also have a tendency or the ability to kind of have a temper, and maybe they work to make sure they control that temper, but you wouldn't want to be a person that that crosses them or crosses someone that they care about. And then there is South Node past. So group number 3, your soulmate may be working through things in their past, dealing with things in their childhood, their upbringing, that they haven't yet fully grasped or worked through. It might not necessarily be anything to like be concerned about. It might be related to their temper and the reason why they want to kind of they want to be more physical, to put that potential temper or anger into something that is beneficial to them and not just like a waste. So they might be working on some things in their past that they're trying to heal. In terms of if they're dealing with stress, they might fall back on certain patterns that they worked hard to get rid of. You know, maybe when they were younger, they had anger issues or and didn't know how to deal with their emotions, and maybe that's what got them into focusing on you know, putting that energy into physical activities. So group number 3, let's see what your soulmate needs to experience and understand before you two meet. You have in the hand, the universe is your partner. So to some degree, group number 3, your soulmate needs to understand that there's gentle and then there's a more aggressive approach to creating a future. And they're trying to kind of get a grasp on that and allowing things to happen as opposed to trying to make something happen. Like I said, they're kind of up for a challenge. They might be someone who just at times trying to just make things happen. So it could be that part of them trying to heal aspects of their past is to learn that there's that, that concept of the strength card where using gentle approach, having patience, that's a good way of approaching a situation, as well as kind of using strength and speed. So group number 3, let's take a look at what you need to experience or understand before you two meet. You have lost compass, getting back to integrity. So group number 3, there may be, I'm noticing there's 22 and there's 33. So like repeating numbers. This can be considered like angel numbers, aspects of kind of trusting in yourself, trusting in others, trusting in the universe. So for you though, getting back to integrity, there may be a sense of you having kind of not following your intuition, not really pursuing something that was for your best and highest good, and not necessarily in a like you were out there robbing banks or anything, more along the lines that maybe you were or have been influenced or persuaded by certain people or kind of went along with certain things, and kind of need to get back to your authentic truth and what it is that you need to move forward in your life. It may be that certain mentors or models or guidance that you've had in the past, maybe at some point in time that was helpful for you, but it's as if that you are kind of recognizing that you need to trust your own intuition, and that you always have your best interest at heart, and kind of make yourself your own kind of role model type of thing. So let's take a look now at what you will experience with your soulmate group number 3. I'm going to do one more shuffle. Okay, so let's take a look at how you and your soulmate will meet. You have the Queen of Swords. So you will meet possibly through someone who is like a mentor. Well, I said you have to get past a mentor. It's almost like a teacher or a friend, someone who is very opinionated, someone who is very kind of analyzes things. So it's not like they are a professional matchmaker, but it could be that for some reason they think that the two of you would get along well, or maybe there's some type of book club that you guys are in, some type of writing class. So this is someone who that both of you would look to when you have like a problem to solve. And this lost compass, getting back to integrity, it doesn't mean that you need to cut all ties with people that give you advice. It's about not needing to necessarily seek that out from others, or to disconnect from certain people that you were trying to follow in their footsteps. So this could still be like a mentor or parent, or an aunt or an uncle, someone who is who's a thinker, who is a problem solver. And the problem solving might not have anything to do with relationships or dating or anything. It's just a sense of somehow this person is the connector for you. So let's take a look at the first impression of your soulmate. You have 5 of Swords. So maybe this is someone that helps with anger management or something, because what you notice is that your soulmate does have issues with trying to win at all costs, to always see things as a competition. And so that's something that you pick up on, that there might be issues that they are working on with their past. So let's see if there is something significant about your soulmate that you come to appreciate. 8 of Swords. So you come to appreciate that your soulmate is kind of dealing with this mental aspect of being restricted. And that's possibly why they like to be physically active, physically in motion, constantly moving, constantly willing to face a challenge and compete, because there is a thought process, the way that they think about things. There's negative patterns about their ability and what they can accomplish in life that they're trying to deal with and overcome. And they've been able to kind of shift those thoughts into being more active and focusing on the physical aspects, but in terms of dealing with the past aspects of like the emotions of it or the thought processes, that's something they're still going to be working on. So let's see your soulmate's initial impression of you. You have the Wheel here. So group number 3, your soulmate kind of sees you as a huge change to their life, someone that kind of it's meant to be that you meet, that you're someone that is willing to take risks in life. So to some degree, they like that there's that aspect of a challenge that you might be up for. And they kind of see that you are on the verge of something great for yourself. So let's see about what your soulmate comes to appreciate about you. You have the Empress. So in group number 3, your soulmate will appreciate that you have this this energy about you of being comforting to others, showing compassion, showing love, and having the ability to inspire people. It's almost like they see you as their personal muse to make a change in their own life. So let's see what significant experience you'll share. 8 of Cups. So to some degree, you'll share this experience of needing to walk away from something that you've invested in. That could be the past for your soulmate, their own past. It could be that it's your relationship together. It could be to some degree moving on from the people or the ideas that had the most impact over you both in the past. So let's see how your relationship with this soulmate looks like overall. You have King of Cups. So group number 3, this relationship is really about supporting each other, sharing like emotional support, and also trying to have like a clear mind about things, using like reason and thought in a very positive way, trying not to allow other people's emotions to influence how you're feeling, but really the both of you are kind of working with each other to make you more of a solid individual, someone that can really face any challenges that life brings your way, and know that you have the confidence to trust in yourself, to trust in your intuition, to trust in the universe. And this might be a real like a shift in like spirituality for the both of you, or a shift in a focus on spirituality for the both of you. So group number 3, let's take a look at what lessons you'll learn from your soulmate. You have dreams. So this concept of together kind of pursuing your futures, pursuing the whatever it is that you this connection to each other, connection to those around you, and really exploring the potential of being the best versions of yourself and living the best lives that you want to be living. So let's see what you learn from your soulmate. You have freedom. So here, this 8 of Swords, this getting back to integrity, this 8 of Cups, it seems that they kind of allow for you to recognize certain decisions that you make in life where it's almost as if you are limiting yourself, limiting your view of your potential, of what you can do, what you can accomplish, and really breaking down those barriers, especially with these dreams. And you can see it's almost as if this cage here, it's very similar in shape to this window here, where you can see the is it like a door? a doorway, maybe it's an archway to the dreams there. So you and your soulmate, these characteristics that you have working together will allow you to go further than either of you thought you could go individually. So I'm hoping this reading provides a helpful perspective about your soulmate, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Welcome back. This is a reading for group number 4, those who pick Neo Tarot to learn more about your soulmate. So before we get into the tarot cards, I'm going to pull some oracle cards to find out how you'll recognize your soulmate. So group number 4, you have the goat, conquering, vitality, new heights. Your soulmate is someone who stands out from the crowd because they excel at whatever it is they are trying to accomplish, whatever their goals are. They are constantly making sure that they have the right mindset, the right energy for it. They're basically someone that you know will succeed in life. You also have the B, community, work, harmony. So group number 4, your soulmate is someone who is maybe a workaholic or can be seen as a workaholic. There's someone who really enjoys the work they do. There's someone who, maybe the majority of friends are the people that they work with. They are someone who works well with others, and really, even though they are someone you can tell is going to excel in whatever they do, they're not necessarily striving for that recognition. They simply want to make a difference. They want to feel productive, and that what they're doing, of course, they would feel great if it was, life-changing for people in a good way. So group number 4, let's take a look at some more characteristics of your soulmate. You have plain Jane. So again, they're not looking to be the center of attention. They're not looking to kind of just appear like they have made it. So it makes me think of someone who wears t-shirt, shorts, and flip-flops to work, but they are they're a software engineer, and they really are smart. They really make decent money, and they're not trying to flaunt it. And you have masculine. So whatever your idea of masculine is, in terms of recognizing that when you see your soulmate has that characteristic. So let's take a look at their goals or their beliefs. Cancer, immerse. So group number 4, and you can see here it's number 4 on the card here. So group number 4, your soulmate perhaps is the zodiac sign of Cancer, but there's someone who really is invested in the people, emotionally invested in the people that they choose to surround themselves by. They are someone who feels like they They want to protect the people they care about, the ideas that they have. They want to protect those too. So if they are not like recognized, if they're not given credit for something they think is important, or if something that they care about is not seen as important, they might, you know, be moody about it or grumpy about it, but it's not because they want the limelight for it, the spotlight. They just want, they feel like they really care about what they put their efforts into. And so it's more that there's usually a lot of care and thought that goes into an idea that they have. So they're definitely deeply feeling. Maybe they're not someone that you can watch a touchy feely type of movie with, and they enjoy that. But there's someone that really has deep feelings about the things that they care about, and what they care about is this concept of producing something of value that people will appreciate in the world. And then you also have this card of Chiron Heal. So group number 4, your soulmate is definitely, they believe that everyone has the ability to improve their situation, to kind of come, from whatever their past is, whatever obstacles have been placed before them, and to kind of grow and whatever may have been missing from their past, whatever they feel like they didn't have, to be able to kind of find that in themselves, in the people that they choose to surround themselves with, in the hobbies that they have, that the work that they choose to do, and kind of this idea of making yourself kind of exactly what you want to be. It's making me think of like the reason why these cards are coming up, this concept of Cancer. It's the element associated with Cancer is water, and believe the moon is the planet associated with Cancer, which are more feminine, like aspects of nurturing, receiving, connections between people, those types of things. But you have this card of masculine here in terms of the characteristic of your soulmate. So to some degree, it's the sense of there's some aspects of their past that they might still be working on, but their past is what made them who they are. So to some degree, it's not like they're trying to forget it. It's that they're trying to they believe that even things that are uncomfortable in your past, that kind of come up and cause twinges of discomfort, you can still learn from it, grow from it, improve yourself, and to recognize that you can always take things. It's not like the just finding a silver lining concept. It's not like just look on the bright side. It's actually understanding that certain struggles, certain discomforts, certain emotions that you don't like to deal with, once you kind of face it and you find, why that is that makes you feel uncomfortable, and kind of put that energy into having agency over your own life. Like, it's kind of like now that you can feel that, you can recognize that, you understand why those memories hurt, or make you feel a certain way, or why you get grumpy or moody or something like that. Understanding those aspects can really help you move forward, help you recognize that you need to develop either routines, or you need to develop patterns where you recognize those things are popping up and quickly address them, so that you're not stuck in a negative space, and that they kind of believe that if you put in the effort, you really want to make the change, anyone could really do that for themselves. So let's take a look at what your soulmate needs to experience or understand before you two meet. You have Moon Maiden, New Beginnings. It's interesting, I was talking about this aspect of the moon, feminine qualities. So this kind of process, this aspect of immersion in their feelings, exploring that, healing from that, growing from that, it's a sense that they need to feel that there is a new beginning from it. So they know that there is positive, ways that you can handle your past and heal from your past, but it's almost as if there is some kind of inauguration type of thing. And it could be that they need to recognize that perhaps they do want the limelight. Maybe they do want that type of attention on them, or that they do deserve it. And kind of recognize that if there is something that they want to take credit for, or want to be seen, if they do want to be that superstar, center of attention person that everyone recognizes, then maybe, it's kind of like a shift into this. But either way, there's some type of acceptance and change, or not change, recognition, once they kind of get to this new beginning that they need to experience before meeting you. So group number 4, let's take a look at what you'll need to experience or understand before meeting your soulmate. You have deep, quiet meditation and stillness. So group number 4, you've got this card number 11, which can be like an angel number, where it's kind of a focus on yourself, your connection to the universe, connection to spirit, connection to just yourself. So it's almost like this deep quiet is like a deep dive into your inner beingness of seeing what is it that you'll find if you quiet everything down, and not have certain like knee-jerk reactions to respond to life going on around you. Perhaps somehow this aspect of the deep quiet, the stillness of your thoughts, has to somehow intermix with this new beginning for your soulmate. So group number 4, now we're going to get into the tarot cards and find out what you will experience with your soulmate. Maybe I'll take these cards too. Why not? So group number 4, let's see how you and your soulmate will meet. You have the King of Swords. So the way you will meet is through some type of individual, perhaps like a parent, a friend who is like actively involved in some aspect of, like, I want to say overseeing some project, dealing with oversight of something. So here you'll meet through this individual. So if you know someone who is, you know, a strong business person, someone who's smart, someone who's like an expert, someone who is kind of any type of problem solver. They know how to manage any problem. They know how to communicate well. So let's take a look at your first impression of your soulmate. The Hanged Woman. Interesting that it's the Hanged Woman in this deck because of the issues of the masculine and feminine. So group number 4, what you'll initially notice about your soulmate is that they are really working on kind of surrendering to whatever situation, environment they're in. You know, to some degree, this could be like a teacher. If you're dealing with the deep, quiet meditation stillness, and that's your first impression of them is the Hanged Woman. Perhaps this is some type of meditation expert, some kind of, I don't want to say psychologist, but someone that helps you to really, like a inspirational person that is helping people to deal with maybe stress. It could just even be like a yoga instructor, but it's the King of Swords. It'll come to me, but it's as if this individual is perhaps helping the both of you to kind of explore aspects of your work and your emotions connected to your work, possibly like stress, although this is more of like dealing with the emotions. So we'll take a look at see what else we find. Let's see something significant that you come to appreciate about your soulmate. You have another swords, Ace of Swords. So here it's almost as if you guys are, I don't know, taking some type of course, like a communication course, dealing with stress or anxiety, a wellness, well-being type of course, something that focuses on thought, on breath, on kind of like being more clear focused, and also sense of accomplishments, maybe some type of leadership, some like trust exercises that are going on here. But basically, your soulmate is someone that is very intelligent, someone who is very, again, that concept of being focused, and someone who is going to succeed in life. And that's something that you recognize about them. So let's see your soulmate's initial impression of you. You have 3 of Wands. So group number 4, your soulmate recognizes that you are someone that is going to blow up. Whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever plans you're putting into action, you are going to grow, you're going to expand. They see similar aspects of success in you that you see in them. And it could be that you are maybe not better, but you are able to connect with people maybe easier than your soulmate, because it seems like your soulmate is focused on whatever they're doing for work, whatever it is that they're putting their efforts into. So it seems like, let's say if your soulmate is like a writer, and writes children's books, and excited about that concept of fairy tales and the stories that go along with that, then maybe they really get along with other people who care about those things, but they might not really know how to talk to someone who is focused on like a bakery or investing in the stock market. But for you, you have this ability to really kind of connect with people on different levels, so that if you, let's say, wanted to start your own business, you could do the advertising, you could do the number crunching, you can be that the face of your business in terms of the aesthetics of it. So it seems like you have this ability, you have a lot of different abilities, and so it's easier for you to connect to people and not just have a connection that's based on a common interest. So let's take a look at something significant your soulmate will come to appreciate about you. You have the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this concept of your soulmate recognizing that you are just going to blow up, and it's as if you are really going to have this life-changing experience, like you are in the midst of really becoming super successful yourself. So let's take a look at what significant experience you'll share with your, come here, sweetie. Thank you. Thank you, my love. Thank you for visiting me. Why don't you come sit here? So you and your soulmate, you have this 8 of Pentacles. So you will really share this focus on your work, your career path. So this King of Swords is somehow someone that is connected to how you engage in your career, pursue your career. So that's the kind of the sense I'm getting of this King of Swords, is this person is helping you both when it comes to pursuing greatness in your life and your career. So here, let's see here. What am I doing? Okay, I am finding out overall, what does your relationship look like with your soulmate? You have the Magician. So you both are having this like life experience or soul experience where you recognize that you both have immense talent, skill, intellect, and really focusing your thoughts, your intention, your energies, your heart into the things that you care about, you really can, have whatever future that you want. So you're both on this great path to success together. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the same industry, but it's as if you are both like leveling up to this aspect of being really recognized for your accomplishments. So I was mentioning how your soulmate, this might be just recognizing that maybe they do want the spotlight. It could be that this needs to occur so that you both can kind of pursue that path of greatness together. So let's see what lesson you will learn from your soulmate. Group number 4, you have this concept of peace. So the meditation and stillness, the deep quiet, you might start to experience and understand that before you meet, but your soulmate will really help you in terms of making those small little changes in life, or having those habits or patterns where you are focusing on your improvement, focusing on how you can have joy, success, and it's almost like the ultimate work-life balance, but really a true sense of tranquility. And let's find out what lesson your soulmate will learn from you. You have blessings, which pretty much looks like this this moon maiden new beginnings aspect. So here they might start recognizing that they have this ability or desire to, be greater than they can ever imagine. And your kind of relationship together, the things that you experience, explore together, it's as if they fully embrace it and fully believe that, miracles happen, and that, you are a miracle that came into or comes into their life, and that really this aspect of greatness that you'll both share and that you'll both have, it's something that neither of you could have anticipated, and that you are super grateful that life or destiny or spirit guides, whatever, led you to each other and to the great lives that you have together. So group number 4, I'm hoping that this reading provides a helpful perspective about you and your soulmate, and we'll see you next time. Take care.